seconded by Reverend Smith, to close the public hearing. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Is there anyone opposed? The ayes have it, 7-0. Would anyone like to take it?
Mayor, I move that we approve this ordinance.
We have a motion by Mr. Spigner, seconded by Reverend Smith, to approve this on first reading. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Is there anyone opposed? The ayes have it, 7-0. Item number 7A is an ordinance authorizing the city of Spartanburg, South Carolina to enter into amendments and restatements of a parking facilities use agreement, development agreement, project management agreement, and other agreements previously entered into with Spartanburg Parking Facilities Corporation to facilitate the construction, operation, and use of a parking facility located within the city, authorizing the execution and delivery of various documents relating thereto, delegating the authority to the mayor, the city manager, and the assistant city manager to determine certain matters and other matters relating to the foregoing. This is a second reading, and Mr.
Mayor, members of council, I think we've brought this item back several times. We're trying to put it in final form that will provide for the amendment to the contract loan document so that we can move the money to the airport project. We're scheduled to close next Tuesday and on the airport funding, and this will be the final step that we would ask council to take. I believe it's consistent with all the prior actions that we've asked city council to take.
Are there questions of Mr. Bennett on this matter?
Yeah, I move that we approve what is on second reading.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Hogan, seconded by Mr. Reeder. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Is there anyone opposed? The ayes have it, 7-0. You need to slow down. Item 8A is a resolution to adopt the Spartanburg County Bike and Pedestrian Master Plan, and this is Stephanie Lemon. Well,
thank you. Thank you, Mayor and members of council. I'm going to let the consultant with Greenways, he's going to do a 5-minute presentation or so, and then I'll come back after that. So I'd like to welcome Ernie back up here. He was here a couple months ago.
Thank you.
Just can't stay away, huh?
I can, and Mr. Mayor, I'm going to try to help you slow things down.
well, you make some people happy sometimes.
I will try to be as brief as possible.
That's the nature of local government.
Certainly. Mr. Mayor, members of council, thank you for allowing me to come back and present this tonight for a resolution for adoption. I would be remiss, Mr. Mayor, as a native of Spartanburg, if I didn't thank you for your service. Appreciate it. We have come to the conclusion of this project. It's been a very good project. It's an actual document tonight that I'm bringing before you. I certainly want to mention our funding partners again, the Mary Black Foundation, Spartanburg County, and of course the City of Spartanburg. SPATS acted as the lead agency on the project. A very quick review. We've mentioned the benefits of bicycle and pedestrian friendly communities before. I did want to share just a couple of quick statistics with you that I did not have previously. The Center for Disease Control says that communities that increase their active living environments can see a 25% increase in those people that exercise more than 3 times a week. So that's tremendous. Certainly safety is a big thing too. We know from studies that when these types of facilities are increased and numbers of bicyclists and pedestrians increase, crashes and accidents go down. So that's essential as well. We have impacted the residents of both the city and the county with this study. We did a survey and received over 1,000 responses, which is a pretty good number for a study like this. I have never experienced that good of a response. But overwhelmingly, those that did respond said that this is an important topic, that these types of facilities need to be increased and that safety for bicyclists and pedestrians needs to be increased. The planning process that we went through, very briefly, the purpose and the vision, it sort of mirrors those benefits that I showed you just a couple slides before. The reason we're doing this is to encourage those benefits. The successes that you've already had, we are certainly building upon those. Chief among those, the bicycle friendly community designation from the League of American Bicyclists. We had an active steering committee and stakeholders in this process, and these are the folks that rolled up their sleeves and got their hands dirty. And we met on a regular basis, and a number of them are here with us tonight supporting this adoption. Data collection. This was probably the most intensive data collection effort I've ever been involved in. And it's sort of twofold with that. Naturally, we needed the data to do our work. But what it also does is it leaves the city of Spartanburg and Spartanburg County with a tremendous database of information. As you can see here, over 400 miles of existing sidewalks were mapped, over 100 intersections were assessed. And we also did what is known as a bicycle level of service, which looks at all the roadways and categorizes them on a grading scale of A to F, saying the suitability of bicycling on them. And that's a tremendous tool to have. We did individual municipality interviews. We did that with 14 communities throughout the county. Certainly the city of Spartanburg was one of them. And we found out what the priorities of those communities were. We have our final plan now. And within that plan, we have two key components, one being a bicycle network, the other being a pedestrian network. Within the bicycle network, there's over 700 miles of recommendations. Very ambitious, but certainly a thorough plan. You can see there's various types of facilities and also various types of methods. They range from certainly capital projects like constructing new facilities, but they also have some very simple things like restriping existing roadways, so things that can be done fairly inexpensively. Within the pedestrian network, I mentioned to you that we mapped 400 miles of existing sidewalks. Within the plan, over 250 miles are recommended to fill gaps that now exist. Certainly greenways are part of this, and then 100 intersection improvement recommendations, which is was quite a task. Here you can see, again, the inset is Spartanburg County because this was a countywide plan, but specific attention was given to the city of Spartanburg. The city of Spartanburg received a level of detail that no other community did because naturally you put a good deal of money into it, so you should get that level of detail. You can see here, this is the pedestrian map. I don't expect you to be able to see what all those colors of lines mean, but there are various facilities, and then all the little hash marks are all the various intersections that were evaluated. Within this, we also did priority cut sheets within the city of Spartanburg, and basically these are priority bicycle projects and priority pedestrian projects, and it took it to another level of detail. Instead of just being a line on the map, we brought that, we zoomed in and said, what is this project, what would it take to get it done? And then even beyond that, we looked at a series of case studies where we, again, brought that level of detail up even higher. The one you see here is for a new trail facility that would link the Cottonwood Trail to the Mary Black Rail Trail. And so these are the types, as you see, there's cross sections, there's implementation components, cost estimates. So very thorough in what we have here. Also policy and program recommendations. The inset page is a piece of our implementation and action plan, which lays out each individual project, who should be responsible for it, how that might get done, what are some of the challenges to getting it done, and where funding sources might come from. Additionally, Chapter 10 of the plan is design guidelines, which are extremely thorough. They basically lay out any type of bicycle or pedestrian facility that you could imagine and how it should be built. So it gives you a key design guideline that your staff can use in the future. Moving forward, tonight we are, Stephanie will be putting a resolution of adoption before you. We certainly want this to be a plan, not a plan that sits on a shelf, but a plan that goes on a shelf and comes back off that shelf many times. We want it to be a go-to resource for staff both here at the city and the county. And certainly we want it to influence what happens with your ordinances. And then implementation pieces, we have recommended what we call a BPAC, which is an advisory committee. These are folks within the community that are advocates who would, on probably a quarterly or biannual basis, meet to make sure the plan is moving forward. Again, I mentioned the priority projects. We want to see those move forward as quickly as possible because that's where you're going to build your momentum. If the plan goes on a shelf and nothing happens, then you lose the momentum you've built. If you can get some of those priority projects in the ground, then that momentum moves on. We want the city of Spartanburg to work very closely with the county and SCDOT to try to implement projects as new roadway and roadway improvement projects occur.